Hello, I'm Rangru.
And I'm Graham.
Here today for 1v1 from one of the semi-finals matches from the Wargame Bootcamp Discord Elite/Veteran Tournament. We
Mm,
are in a nuclear winter is coming. And who came today, Graham?
wow. So Rangru. On the right hand side, we have Balanced playing as Finpol Moto, my favorite. And then on the
Mhm.
left, you have NBK playing the, vaunted mechanized Dutch German core.
Indeed, so two very powerhouse players and
Mm,
powerhouse decks. I mean, Finpo Moto on this map.
sexy.
It's just the classic.
I mean, yes, it's definitely the classic, though I do worry for it going up against a Dutch German mechanized, especially under NBK. Really tall task here for Balance, who, like you said, one of the best players in the game. But obviously, this is the second time recently we've casted a mech versus Moto gameplay, I believe.
Yeah, and also Balance as well last time was also playing when he played against MBK like a few weeks
Yeah,
back when we casted it. He was also Finpo Moto, exact same deck.
the exact same deck,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, I'm gonna roll it again. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, me, I love seeing some good Moto gameplay. We actually do see some Kamadosi. So the ping by MBK of asking no Kamadosi turned out, yes, there is Kamadosi. And he used the MI-17s to get them up there really quick into the town.
Yeah, and we've been seeing that MiG-29 fly quite a lot of air cover in the early game to cover that helicopter push, which is definitely a smart move. We saw a little push into India here of the Finnish Terminators, who, well, I do risk they'll be able to clear it out, but they are a little bit outnumbered.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to win this. And it's kind of an expensive, I guess, infantry loss for probably no gain. But what's interesting, he did actually mess up that A864, though. But it is kind of interesting how much firepower MBK invested into India. He clearly, I think, was maybe expecting some more shenanigans out of Balance down there. So he has quite a bit of troops to hold that push there. Well, it really wasn't push. It was just, messing around.
Just a little reconnaissance play, but instead, Balance decided to go right down the middle into Delta, a much more safer play. But in
Yeah.
this case, I mean, it's going to work out because there's no real, firepower leveraging against him, as MPK is still dicking about a bit in Charlie.
Yeah, big thing here is going to be like where is Balance going to make his moves, right? Because I think a lot of times when it comes to watching motorized play versus mechanized play, the moto player wants to stay a little flexible, use the strengths of his deck. Because if you allow the mech player just kind of set up and grind you down, it's pretty much game over at that point. You'll never be able to withstand that. So curious to see where Balance decides to make his moves. Where is he going to be aggressive at? Because that's what you kind of look for a lot in the about the first 10 minutes from motorized players. Oh,
Yeah,
that one okay.
because if he
Messed up.
just stays still right now, I mean, he has decent map control, but you're going to lose that map control eventually in that mech moto grind gang warfare, especially with just how
Mm.
much firepower is here in Charlie and we've seen in Alpha. I mean, he does have the little village, which is quite nice, but yeah, it's really more of a temporary stopgap.
Yeah, and honestly, and you can see it from MK, he's just gonna push up, right? Because so the Panzer Grants, they got annihilated by the Mi-17 right there. Just those 122 mm rockets from the S13 just trashing them. So this is actually going a little bit better than I thought it would for a second. Commodossi causing the Dutch reservists to unload. I really would not want to be one of those dudes right now in a town fight against them. And so the Martyr 2 and the YPR is trying to come across to provide fire support, but the spikes coming out here, which is actually he's down at 1 HP. Might as well just commit them, honestly. Oh, and the 2A1's coming up along with another bar too.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's definitely quite a decent attack here. And this is also going to be the problem, is that Balance is really going to have to leverage those spikes and his air power to really deal with these heavy attacks. So in this case, he only needs to go up against Tray 1, which isn't the end of the road. There's no Tray 5s you have to worry about. But, I mean, his only tank are Bloody Charioteers, so that's a ground game for him.
That's all you need. Charioteer is the only tank you need, Rangroom. Oh, the Gepard just gets sniped by the Conquerors with a BMP, the BMP-1, the recon variant.
Ha! It's funny actually seeing that thing work. It's like a really budget Bradley.
It is like a budget Bradley. That's absolutely true. Well, he definitely got that great value brand quality from, because we see a couple misses there. Nice pick on the Gepard. Oh, and the Spike getting another transport The Commandosi here getting some RPG shots into Leopard 2A1. I mean, you could just tell NBK really wants to just take this town here off the start. He doesn't want Balance to be able to set up there and kind of use as a base of operations. Usaria coming in ring.
Oh damn, good snipe, finishing off that Leopard. He needs to continue, good serious strikes like that if he wants to, maintain leverage with the ground game. Because the Commandosi, the one dude left alive, he's done a pretty damn good job of slowing up his entire push.
That's Rambo. That's Polish Rambo.
He
is. That's
still
how
alive.
Bro, he's holed up inside the police station.
Yeah.
He's got the M60. He's just going to town right now. These are National Guard troops.
It is just like Rambo. It's like
this
Eastern European knockoff Rambo.
This is Eastern European knockoff Rambo. So the M60's got the RPK.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still going to town. I don't remember the name of the police chief in Rambo. Where's Colonel? Is it Colonel Travers? Oh my god, I can't.
I don't. It's been years since I've seen the first Rambo movie.
But a long time.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a Polish colonel though coming to save the Commandosi. Get him to stop massacring the poor Dutch reservists.
No, I don't think so. But this is really quite great here for Balance, as he's just managed to pretty much destroy a lot of the leverage. And god damn it, BMP1 snipes Armada too. He's done a very good job trading from actually rather static positions.
Well, and also with far less, he had definitely had a lot less units on the field. I know I didn't say that most elegantly, but the Mi-17 providing value, the Sokol provided value, the BMP-1, I mean MVP except for Rambo right there. We see the Finnish Terminators coming over, and so now I think if you're balanced, it's time to get aggressive because that was a lot of units killed for no gain now because the town is still completely under Balance's control. NBK's not willing to send the Salt Trooping across the field there, and so I looked for him to get a little aggressive.
Yeah, he might as well just try to get that play into Charlie here. There's not that many units currently in the sector. We've seen reinforcements from Leopard 2 and Armada 2 as well. But you're totally right. You need to take advantage of this low in the fighting to, start more violence.
Violence! Yes, definitely more violence. I'm curious to see here what NBK decides to do, because he does have a point. Balance does have the point lead, which is interesting. So he's able to cap up really quick, get the points. Oh, Rang, down south, we missed some action. Foxtrot, NBK got a little aggressive there, and he's taken some of that town.
Yeah, definitely makes sense, as he has a lot of units he can leverage for push-in. This is going to force Balance to redirect some of his energy here, as well as the Apache Escort coming in as well, with no real anti-air in sight, so he should be able to draw some pressure up north if he continues this push. So he'll probably need more than just 2 squads to start trooping.
Yeah, I agree as well. There's a limit, I think, to that. I mean, we see the XA, it was an infantry, and that's a little Bushmaster action might be able to get involved there. And plus, so is the MIKT there. So yeah, so he's got enough fight. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think the Salt Trooper or even the Apache Escort is going to be enough to get anything really crazy there. We see a Hawk called out as well. What's he trying to bomb? Those Panzergrins, it looks like. Balance trying to blap them in the open.
Starfighter coming in hot.
Oh, he didn't drop. He lost lost vision, I guess. And then the Starfighter trying to get... Nope.
I'll be forced back when we've seen another attack here from NBK. Round 2, he has a whole heap of armor and infantry. Better infantry this time, the Assault Troop and leading the charge. So he should quite clearly take his town.
Yeah, there was a a resupply vehicle was brought up for the town, but obviously just one of them was not going to be nearly enough to get, Commandosi repaired, rearmed the spike team. So the second attack by NBK is going to take it, and it does feel like to me, Ray, there's a little bit of a missed opportunity by Balance here. Like there's a little bit of avenue, but then again, he didn't necessarily have a ton of units on the field right there for it. Oh, we see he's bought a Urigan.
Oh, the heavy artillery play now. That's interesting, spending that much money on heavy artillery and that time frame, because that's what 140. So I don't think that was the best play. Like you said, it was a missed opportunity, and that 140 points in frontline infantry to maybe put pressure south of Charlie. I mean, right now, NBK is starting to really regain the momentum because he's engaging in classic mechanized warfare.
Well, Hawk was purchased as well. So we add in, I completely agree with you. We see a strong mech push coming, and it just kind of shows timing right there. Like, the Urigens are really cool. It's a sexy unit, right? We all like seeing the Urigen. Put it on the poster for the vid rank. But it's very rare in all the games we've casted that the Urigen actually ends up being worth it. And I'm not even talking purely from did it get 140 points worth of kills? Like, did it actually impact the course of the game? And majority of the time, it never does.
Yeah, because usually if MLRS pieces like that, you need to use it in a barrage at the perfect time when your enemy is doing an attack, or when you're about to do an attack. Because it doesn't get kills. It can get kills. It's mainly just, to be a stunning machine.
Right, right. Yeah, it does. Obviously, like you say, it can get kills, but for the most part, it just does a lot of stun, it panic stuff. But if you're firing at something that you're not taking and you can't hold, it kind of just feels you're expending a lot of ammo.
Yeah, and we're just seeing up north just the amount of, mechanized stuff is being brought onto the battlefield. We're also seeing balance, actually bringing the CV into Delta here, as well as some defense troops.
And these XAs with the Mutsi are going right towards the town here. There's Panzer Grenadiers and Stalk Troop. Okay, no, he's going to wheel off. I was like, no, the poor Finnish reservists.
Oh.
Look at that transport.
Mutsis and the Mutsis.
That transport is insane looking.
Yeah,
it's just trashed.
Ghetto as hell, man.
It's extremely ghetto. I mean, they're bringing out the recoilless rifles there, trying to set them up in the open. AT-4s being launched. Panzergrens. Oh, Leopard 2A1 coming up. Though the Sokol will do really good suppression right there and can help get some kills. Oh, the Salamandra coming in as well. You have to be careful. There is a Fliegerfaust in the back. And this isn't Warno. They actually have stingers.
Yeah, they can actually sting the helicopters. And honestly, Balance is doing a great job with his helicopter play. If he can keep us up, I mean, that's one of the things you really have to leverage as a motorized player to deal with all that heavy armor.
Well, and a big thing, too, is Balanced is in the lead. That's something, I like to point out just every once in a while, because sometimes it feels like, even if he's lost territory there, he did cap up, CV up faster, as we just see, he does it right there in Delta. So he does have the points lead. He is slowly ticking. But I would be worried if I was him right now, Rank, because there is a lot of stuff coming from NBK. And that's just really how mech, kind of ends up sometimes. It's just a lot of units, a lot of IFVs, then a tank here or there to, kind of just grind you down.
Yeah, those 5-point transports really do add up in cost savings when you're buying hordes and hordes of infantry compared to, the standard 10-point cost of motorized.
Broken, Eugen.
The rack firing off again, not really causing that much impact. Once again, firing really after the battle was over.
Yeah, and also the main push for the infantry here isn't coming from the town right there at the crossroads. It's these grenadiers with their YPRs behind them. I mean, the 2A1's going to kind of come up here a little bit, but that spike team's in a dangerous position if the infantry gets inside that forest.
Yeah, and there's really not a whole lot of reserve infantry from Balance here. It's just the Ron Commandosi squad. And we've seen Commandosi do some amazing things, but you can't keep relying on their brilliance to hold the front line.
Yes, as we saw, Rambo did kill like 30 dudes, but he finally went down.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no replacement Rambo yet. I mean, we'll see. Maybe the 9 Commandosi, there's another one in this town here. But more infantry is coming in. The Stalk Troopers are going to get in the town. Panzergrins, 2 Libertines. Oh, yeah, he's got more infantry here. And I like this move by NBK Rank. He's decided, okay, we're going to fight over Delta. I'm okay with fighting over Delta because he has plenty of time. Plus, if he can fully take it, I think the game's, he's well within hand for him. But he wants to grind, right? He wants to get Balance pinned down in one area and just wear him out.
Yeah, because if, NBK right now decaps Delta, we're going to be like, 125 point difference? Or 120 points, actually. Anyway, that gives him a good amount of time, 25 minutes, to completely capture Delta, and then if he can get that +1 tick at like the 15-minute mark or so, and then put pressure into Alpha, and that's, classic snowball fashion, you'll be able to very easily get the point advantage to win the match.
And one thing we have to remember is that if you look at the amount of support equipment that's been bought by Balance so far in the course of this game. There is a window where I think NBK can leverage his units on the battlefield a little bit better. The question is going to be, is he taking the right engagements? Oh, these Ranos just getting caught in the open here. They're getting trash. Grenadiers pushing up Panzergrins, showing them what's what right there. People kind of sleep on the Panzergrin sometimes these days, Rang. But really good engagement there against the Finnish elite infantry.
Yeah, they're just bloody fantastic here, holding the ground. The MI-17 coming in clutch. I think Balance has just brought in enough reinforcements to hold us off for the time being. Are the Raniks chasing the Lapatry ones? There's smoke, so we should be able to get out.
Well, and once again, there is a Flak Panzergepper, there is a Stinger team, but nothing within actual range of supporting the forward units. And so Balance has just gotten so much value out of just a handful of helicopters.
Yeah, he's been microing him quite effectively. He has them spread out. He's not full sending them. He's waiting for NBK to come towards his helicopters. And, during the classic cavalry charge, Rorno style of him.
Yeah, and Balance is almost going pure like elite call-outs right now. Look at this. There's another double stack of Ranos down in the town, plus you have Komandosi. And then there's the 16 guys chilling in the forest right there. It looks like he's bringing some Yakari 90 in as well. He's going to bring a resupply truck in so he can try and, maybe heal up some of his stuff. But he's really, investing heavily into the elite infantry that Finpol can bring.
Yeah, and it's honestly working quite well here, especially against the Grenadier spam. Because that shock, elite status, especially in town fights, can really go quite a long way. As we've seen, perfect example, the Komandosi.
Yeah, the Komandosi they've proven time and again, whether it's ALB or right here, they're definitely not something to be you don't want to mess around with them inside of a town. And so we see here, like you talk about the reserve spam with the AMXs. This can work, right? There's so much stuff tied to it, but I think he needs maybe something a little extra to help suppress the elite infantry. Like something to just put it over the top, because I don't know if just charging in another 50 stack of infantry and transports is going to be quite enough.
Yeah, because he does not have enough fire support. This is a classic problem, really, because elite infantry, you're getting the most value out of them, in head-on infantry fights against other infantry fights. When you start bringing in planes to bomb them, it doesn't matter if you're Rambo or the National Guard, you're going to get blown up regardless.
I'm Rambo.
Ah. You must have made a lot of money off the movies.
I was the Polish Rambo of the town there.
Did you are we dedicating this game to the brave fighters of the Mujahideen?
Okay, I don't know. Let's not get political. Let's calm down right now. Rambo 3. I need to watch the newest Rambo. I actually never watched it.
I haven't seen it either. I've only seen the first 3.
We'll do a cast of the Rambo movie.
There we go. Play by play.
Oh yeah, we're changing the game right now. Hot new casting action in the Red Dragon world for you. But we see even more AMXs with reserve troops going to be called out here. So the waves going in, right? We see National Guard units, Salt Troop in, Panzergrins, bunch of AMX with their 50 cals here. And so we'll just see how these Ranos do. Just a straight up 3v1 infantry fight. The Stalker was just getting trashed. They're almost completely dead for 1 HP on the Ranos.
Yeah, there's actually one play he could make, is if he just throws in all those AMXs, they're going to die, but all those RPGs are going to be spent blowing them up, and then he can probably bring up a Leopard 2 or some obviously better fire support to get some kills here. He just needs to, full send everything, so exactly what he's doing.
Now, this is where I think the Jurgen would be great.
Yes.
Like a Jurgen shot right here would just do so much. Look at all these reserve troops. They're going to try and pile in here. The elite infantry, the Yakari 90 coming from the side, that might be enough to completely hold that right flank here as the mortar shots come in. This is nasty. A Hawk was dropped. And the Ram is actually getting aggressive here and pushing forward.
Yeah, actually detecting the weakness here, and we're just seeing such effective fire support here from Balance, and he's really needs defensive engagements. He's got good infantry in the town, he's managing to keep most of them alive. They've got a single Komandosi once again. Absolute Chad.
Absolute Chad. Rambo 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, MI8KT providing good fire support. This is just a bloodbath for the Dutch-German Corps.
Yeah, and once again, like you said before, they need fire support. They need bombers. They need more artillery. They need, you know, it's hard to get tanks into here, of course, because of just how the forest works. It really blocks your line of sight. But he needs something, for Christ's sake.
Oh, and the Gepper goes down to the SU-22.
You need seed.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he needs another wave. You know, maybe one more wave could do it, and so we see it coming in. But there's not a ton of infantry in this wave. It's only its 2-stack. And is there more coming? No, I don't see it. And he's done a horrible job, NBK has, at dealing with these helicopters.
Yeah. Two of Balance's infantry are very low on HP, so unless that supply truck can move his arse into gear and start resupplying them, there's an opportunity, but at the same time, yeah, the helicopters have just been absolutely on point. Same with these Hawks as well, dropping in some rather well-timed bombs.
Yeah, that one, I guess his target died. Yeah, I mean, more infantry is being brought up here, but at what point does it...
Oh, he's just like CV? Ah,
yes,
he spotted it.
He just gets away there, yeah. Where's the Starfighter? It didn't die, I don't think.
No, he needs it right now. This is really great helicopter play here from Balance. He's probing a little bit. He knows that the anti-aircraft net is weak after he sniped out Flag Panzer, and he's not sticking around for too long. The so-called probably would want to bugger off. He got in a bit too deep.
He went too hot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there he goes. Poor Sokol.
And look, we're seeing the MLRS being used as a CV sniping tool rather than just dealing with the immediate threat. Because that unit was ready to go when the push started. It was loaded, it was, you know, fully functional and operational. But we're only seeing it try to snipe a Leopard 1. And as you see, it does 1 point of damage. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Yeah, so Balance has taken a bunch of infantry. He's going in hot right now into Charlie. This is actually a strong push here. We have Jakari 90, Finnish Terminators, and Randos coming in. And there's really nothing here to prevent this push. If this infantry keeps going, it's going to go. It can hit the supply road. It can go for the CV. And we see some Stormtrooper coming over here now to try and protect the infantry CV. And this is a really nice move there by Balance.
Yeah, because NBK has been so tunnel divisioned, and us as well, just as Delta push. I mean, he's got 2 Leopard Tray 1s and mortars pushing in, but he doesn't really have much infantry support left, and as you see, Namada does go down. So just a cheap, well, not say cheap, it's just some rather expensive infantry, you know, pushing into the underbelly of Charlie here is doing great. Oh.
Leopard Tray 1 goes down to the HH-10.
Damn. Really good little helicopter snipes here. Once again, comes in, gets a few hits, and buggers back off. And that's going to keep NBK pretty much bunkered into his side of Delta for the time being.
Well, and also, if you're Balanced, you're totally okay with staying at this right now. Because, well, normally I would say you really don't want the game to get attritional against Mech. He's trading so efficiently right now in these fights that I think if you're Balanced, you're perfectly happy. You're like, I've taken the, you know, I'm applying pressure purely off my current situation, and I just got to keep my elite infantry alive, and he's doing that.
Yeah, he's managing to cycle his elite infantry a bit as well, which is definitely helping out. He needs some more supplies on the front lines. Well, for the time being, he should have just enough to hold. I really do like his Charlie push. If he wanted to get cheeky...
Salamandra.
Oh.
On the 2A1 right there, got head on.
Second hit.
Oh, he went for the AMXs.
Lost line of sight. But he could be sneaky and try to get a CV into Charlie. It's probably going to die. It's just a guaranteed. But just, yeah, bigger buffer between him and NBK would be quite valuable.
Yeah, I mean, anything at this point would be a benefit for him. We see the F-104 finally ordered out. And it does get that kill on the Salamandra, but that 2A1 was forced back. We see more infantry being bought out. Yeah, I like this move here by Balance. Completely agree with you, Rang. The more pressure now applied into Charlie, the better, because it's going to redirect, you know, every unit it redirects of NBKs away from the Delta grind is a win for him.
Yeah, and it also just wastes more time of him having to reorganize his front to deal with his Charlie push. Because
Yeah.
time is really on Balancer's side, he just needs to play the clock.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, we see the Terminators. What are they going for? Are they engaging the Huzarin? The Hussars!
Mm-hmm. Horses not included.
I want a Eugen game where we have horses.
They should add out an ST2. Like some
Can
sort
we
of
get it
Hungarian
added?
cavalry unit.
Now that would actually be sick.
Mm-hmm. Because they're using cavalry units, I believe, still in 44.
The
Like full
Hungarians?
reconnaissance, yeah.
Yeah.
Full reconnaissance.
I know the Italians did a cavalry charge in 42.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it worked too.
In Africa?
No, in Russia, where
Oh,
Mussolini.
wow. That's...
Yeah, I
I
think
didn't
by
even know it.
I'm almost positive that someone wants to look it up in the chat. But I'm almost positive the Italians, because a lot of people don't know that the Italians were actually in I don't know if they're exactly in Barbarossa, but maybe they were. Maybe they were. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure they did a cavalry charge against the Soviets.
I believe you. No, they were definitely in Barbarossa.
Yeah. Where are the Italians? We need more Italians in Steel Division 2.
Mm-hmm. Or Wargame.
Or Wargame. Wargame would be cool. Or what about the hit new Eugen game, Warno?
We gotta wait like a few years for him to do like another DLC or second game. Oh no, Warno will probably be like SC2 or it'd be like a gazillion DLCs.
Yes, we just have to wait for them to relaunch the game.
Mm-hmm.
Launch 2.0 party. Sometime this year. But yes, we do see balance. I mean, well, actually, I'd rather point at NBK. So NBK points, has brought in a significant amount of reinforcement here in a Charlie. But once again, it's just this reserve spam with a couple, IFVs to back it up. And there's Rando Zakari right there. There's Kamadosi. Ooh, and it's one of my favorite units, the Finnish T-55.
Yeah, look at him go. He's in a great position here. Laboratory wants him to come in, but he's only at half HP, so
right,
there's danger.
Because that Pelis was going right for it. Blapped.
Big blapped here. Yeah, Balance is getting these fantastic... He's playing it very Finnish. Like, he's forcing NBK to come very close into these forest kill zones, and then he just blaps him.
Yeah, and honestly, like, NBK hasn't been able to utilize his fire support well the entire game, and now we see more reserve infantry is going to get into the Crossroads town. If he secures that, it's just looking really good for Balance, and he's putting on like a show of how to use motorized decks, especially here, starting off mostly in a defensive role with it. Just been awesome to watch.
Yeah, especially the being able to trade so efficiently in mech, because I really thought Delta would fall like much sooner, but he's been doing a great job of using purely elite infantry, rotating them out, and using them in fantastic defense here to just completely annihilate the more regular and reserved Dutch-German blokes. Yeah,
and a couple times NBK has gone in a little piecemeal. Like, never, only the very, I think, original push did he truly go all out, I'm committing, and we saw what the Komando Rambo did. And while I think, we can talk about maybe some choices that NBK Balanced has bought in terms of like, unit acquisition, overall, he's played an absolutely solid game. And we see it here, he's got that +1 because the CV's, what's CV doing? Oh, it's just relocating. Delta.
Slightly nicer position there. I know what you really do now here is NBK. He has been able to clear out Charlie, but with 11 minutes left, he doesn't... Oh, yeah. That's really his best bet. He needs to get a +2, or maybe try to do some sneaky stuff down south, but there's quite a lot of territory he has to cover.
I think your best bet is you killed up a decent chunk of reserve infantry, or not reserve, elite infantry in Charlie, and just kind of send it. But there is a T-55 recon tank. There's actually two of them there. We see a spike team. Where's that going? No, it's going. Mi-17 is going to come over here though, and there's no AA actually really. So this Mi-17 threads the needle. He could just annihilate these thought trooping.
Yeah. Never seen the rack once again. Really trying to go with that leopard, but not really doing anything as per usual.
The Jurgen has not been effective whatsoever in trying to kill the leopard.
It's more of a like a fireworks show.
So you cue up the Katy Perry song.
Mm-hmm.
That could be in a YouTube short.
That's a good idea, actually. I'll probably have to do that.
I'm gonna
Giving
need,
me all these free ideas.
I have to charge you for him. Just like my casting abilities. I need to start charging you for this ring. I'm tired of this exposure.
Like, I'll give you 50% of what this video makes in ad revenue.
Oh, nice. That sounds
I know,
great.
it's like 30 cents. Enjoy.
30 cents. I want it in American, though. Don't you give me that Canadian money.
In American, that's like 10 cents.
I'd rather have my dime.
I'll send you the dime. I'll just pack up like a big pile of dimes, Graham, and I'll just give them to you next time. The casting dimes.
Yes, I want every cast a dime.
Mm-hmm. You know, if you ever get to a roadblock and you need a shitload of dimes, you're good to go.
Absolutely. A roadblock? Do you mean like a toll?
Yes.
Oh,
they do block the road.
I mean, yes, they do block the road. Excuse me, in the literal sense, but you just I've never heard you call it a roadblock before.
I think it's safe to say we can take us to times too.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not much going on anymore. The attack is just NBK is buggered. Yeah, let's do it at 8:35 in game time. So times 2.
Chat just learned that you call tolls roadblocks.
That's how I view them.
I mean, yes, I guess in the literal sense it is kind of a roadblock. Though you can drive through some of them. There's not always. I'm trying to think. No, the barrier thing, I guess, is always down.
Some of them have cameras now. You just drive through.
Yes. Well, you drive through and they just send you the fee in the mail. They hunt you down based off your license plate.
They do.
I bet you it's brutal up there in Canada.
It's where you gotta cover the license plate with duct tape.
I see.
Totally not illegal.
I wonder
if you just do it really fast, and then when you leave the toll road and then remove it, you have a pretty good chance of not getting caught.
Is this you recommending the actions to the viewers that we should duct tape our license plates? No, okay. Good to know.
Do not do anything you see in game at home, especially, you know, lead a divisional level unit of Finnish Polish motorized troops in a warfare battle against Dutch Germans in like Southeast Asia. It'd be kind of weird.
I actually was really planning on that. I was going to lead an East German division though.
The shipping would be insane.
Yes, me and all the DDR fanboys can go lead the assault.
And the export T-72s.
Hey, don't you hate on the export T-72? Don't you hate on that T-72S?
S for sexy.
That's how I view it. I'll tell you what's sexy was Balance's play here for the most. I mean, just an absolute. You know, I'm trying to find the right word here to be diplomatic because we cast NBK a lot. He's obviously an amazing player, but Balance kind of put the beat down. How about that?
This just leverage 5 support. I mean, just look at the air cluster right now. It's just exemplifies everything. I don't think he's even lose a plane.
No, he's lost a single plane the whole game. I mean, but NBK never really even invested in AA. Like, he had a couple of AA pieces every once in a while, and then one got sniped by a Spike, I think. One got destroyed by Seed. The Stinger teams were never, you know, I hyped up the Fliegerfaust because there was no Red Eye, there was an actual Stinger, and it didn't even matter.
No, it feels like the problem here for NBK is that a little bit piecemeally in attack, not too much. He just needs that 5 support. But also goes into point 2 of the escort's going in. And
Healer Rush? Healer Rush?
No. He spots the CV at least, but it's a bit late. But also, he just... He kind of focused a bit too much in only spam and infantry, and also his Leopard 2 play got a little bit too ballsy. It's just... I think Balance has really played the map well in forcing those very nasty and deadly CQC engagements.
Yeah, and the raw amount of elite infantry you saw from him, you know, it wasn't relying on Jakari 90 to hold it down. He said, I will take the one Komando and the one MI-17, and I'm going to make it work. And that's absolutely what he did. You know, I'm I'm gonna copy his strat, go right into quick play, and get blapped trying to do it. But it was, like you say, Rang, he forced, he kind of dictated the game, even though he was defensive, because he took the key territory early and had the points lead, which forces NBK to attack him. And yeah, the KD is 100% reflected.
Yeah, goddamn, 1,500 difference. That's really impressive as Moto as well. Just bloody hell, good job there, Balance.
I need balance play South Africa Moto.
Oh, nah.
No matter how the game goes, we'll cast it. I promise. I will force Rangru to do it.
You will.
I'm gonna get my dime.
It's gonna be multiple times each point to like build them up.
That's because I'm a dime.
Mm-hmm. Indeed you are, Graham. But yeah, that was a pretty good match. Do you have anything else to say, Graham?
No, I'm all good. I'll catch you and the viewers next week.
I'll see you guys next week, and as usual, please just take it easy.